Debate live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. But most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now, we are joined by Chocolate Saying, Neil, Eli, Adam, and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server. So, welcome, one and all.
The UAE. Did you know that?
Hello.
Hello. Is it just me, or is Eli off in the middle of my intro? What's he doing?
No, that was Eli. He was talking to me, but he didn't realize he was introducing the panel.
What was me talking about the show starting? Not a clue.
We're New Yorkers. We drown sound out.
All right. I'm just background noise to you, New Yorkers, am I? Wonderful. That's
He's
good to hear.
not lying.
Hey, that fisherman in the box, man. I like that guy.
Serious business to attend to. So I had a call from 10th Man, who's been discussing aspects of the book that we're writing. Please, can you go on mute, actually, though, Eli, unless you have actually got something to say. Go on. If you have got something to say, feel free. Clearly not. Okay, so 10th got in touch with me yesterday, and he was referencing a conversation that we, the panel, that is, had maybe a week ago about getting out and about. Now, your position on that in the discussion was to say, why don't you just go out and about now? You don't have to have the book to promote yourself and promote us and promote what we do on Flat Earth Debate. It's absolutely worthy of promotion right here, right now. My attitude was, well, when going out to whoever and just saying, can you promote me? There's not a great deal in it for them, but there will be when there's a book on the table. And 10th said you were quite soft with how you actually presented that to people rather than actually explaining what you meant. So he went through, which I already knew, what I should have said at the time, and I'm going to say now, which is about how the marketing of the book is actually going to take place, which is to say that it's going to be done via an affiliate program. A very juicy, healthy affiliate program that'll offer whoever it is that puts an affiliate link to that book 30% of its sale value. So if for the sake of argument you are that person, you're like, I won't mind putting an affiliate link to that book if I get 30% of its sale value, then you need to contact me. Because once the book comes out, I'm going to be going out and about to whoever it is that is willing to have me on their show to promote that book. And that will be my main purpose. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. I'll be the first word out of my mouth. I'm here to promote my book because it's awesome and everyone needs to be reading it about Flat Earth. If they're not aware of it, they should be aware of it. And if they haven't purchased it, they must be purchasing it with your affiliate link. You being the person that needs to be contacting me or whoever. We'll figure that out in the next couple of days. But there'll be some system of contact, which is to say that whoever wants to get involved in the process of flogging the book and therefore hopefully interviewing me about the book needs to get in touch. Now, if you're already familiar with me and have a means of contacting me, use that means first. And then over the next couple of days, I'll get maybe a separate email account together or something along those lines that I can just put out there and say, look, if you want to be involved in the affiliate program for All Roads, then you need to get in touch so that we can preemptively set you up as an affiliate so that when the time comes, the book's readily available, it can already be the case that you've got a link with a QR code or whatever it is that you need to publish underneath your video or in your comments or wherever it is that you're going to do if you're a videographer, so that you can have your specific affiliate link all ready to go when the time comes. So there we go. So that's what we're going to be doing. So because it's being done from a friendly, that is to say somebody on our own side, as opposed to some random person that publishes books, the publisher is a flat earther and very, very keen to help me specifically first and foremost, as that's the primary focus when we first started to make this book, offering me a second revenue stream, because I'm poor. There's no two ways about it. I'm not embarrassed about that fact. I don't mind admitting it. But it would make me less poor. So that was the initial intention. But then you go, well, how do you entice others when, exactly as I said last time we discussed this, what's in it for me is the question most people ask. Well, the same revenue that I would get out of the book if it sold, that's what's in it for you. In other words, it's in as much interest as the person who's promoting me and the book. If it sells via their affiliate link, they'll get the same as I would, if that makes sense. So there we go. So that's how it's going to go. And it's obviously of incentive to those flirfs out there that are like, I want to promote the book, I want to get part of it, but also it'd be nice to get some cash out of it, which they will if they set up an affiliate program, or if I'm talking to you, that audience member, which you will get if you set up an affiliate link with myself, 10th Man, and the publisher, which should be a very easy process to do. It's already been set up. So again, perhaps the reason I hadn't mentioned it previously because it wasn't something that existed, whereas since then there's been the first sale via an affiliate, not for my book, but for a different book that the publisher's putting out there on behalf of somebody else. And that person did exactly that process. Went and had an interview with somebody that wasn't associated with the writing of the book or the publishing of the book. They published an affiliate link, and they've subsequently, in the last couple of days, had their very first sale off the back of an affiliate program link. That is to say, somebody outside of our group was paid for flogging a book on behalf of somebody else. So in other words, the affiliate program is working, which is what I want before I start talking about it. I've made that mistake once before with a 90% complete book, and then 12 months later, here we are saying it's nearly done. So there we go. So that
should
go ahead.
You should also get on Facebook, man. They pay. I just got in contact, or I became friends with someone who actually makes good money on Facebook. And he said, you think I just post just cause? Or you think I like just posting all the time? He's like, no. Sometimes when I get like even a post that gets 45 comments on it is like $5 for that post. And I was like, what? And you know what I realized? Because I get so upset at Globe Earthers that parrot the wrong information and they just get hundreds and thousands of comments. And I said, oh my God, while we're fighting it out in the comments, they're getting paid. Why not be a troll online? So imagine me posting my book and saying the earth is flat, and I have 1,000 of my friends arguing with me about it is or it isn't. I don't give a shit. I'm getting, oh, excuse me, sorry. I don't give a crap. I'm getting paid. No swearing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that might be the case, and people end up arguing about the promotion of the book on Facebook. But absolutely, my incentive to get out there and do more self-promotion is far higher when I have an incentive to offer the person that I'm utilising to cross-promote me, right? So in the same way, Dave is essentially doing the same thing, Dave Weiss, that is, with his app. He goes out there and he's got the the balls on him to promote that app, which has caused a lot of trouble, right? With its azimuthal equidistant projection and local sun moving around it. Nevertheless, the same principle in terms of his marketing technique is no different to anybody's marketing technique in that regard, which is you go out and offer something to them. Well, in the case of Dave, I don't know if he offers somebody the ability to earn money from an affiliate program with his link. I doubt it. Well, I will. So there'll be a lot more incentive to those of you out there who potentially.
Well, that fisherman in a box guy, he would line right up with you with that. Reach out to him.
Well, I'm putting it out there for people to reach out to me if they are keen to be an affiliate, Neil. That is to say, I expect a certain degree of proactivity from somebody who's like, yeah, I'll take 30% of your book sale. Yeah, you can if you want to be an affiliate, but it means that you've got to get in touch, get a link set up, and then essentially interview me and promote the book. And then you get affiliate sales from it. And it might be the case that you get so many affiliate sales that you put it underneath every single video that you produce from there on, because you're making 30% of every book sale, same as I am. But that's how we've decided to market it, which is to say, rather than just stick it out there on Amazon and earn 5%, have it done via a publisher that we have control over. Yes, you can still buy it, or will still be able to buy it via, if I could say the damn words, Amazon, and get a hard copy or whatever. It's just far less profitable. Whereas obviously we're going to favour promoting it via an affiliate program where everybody wins. So that's the idea. Now it's out there. People know what to do. And like I say, I'll put together a means of contacting me directly in the next couple of days so that others can be passed on that information. That is to say, you know somebody that might want to promote a book that they can market in an affiliate manner and make money from by interviewing me. It might be the case that you just pass the details on to them and they get in touch with me via that email address, which I haven't set up yet, but I will. But I just wanted to do a better job because 10th Man was all over my case yesterday going, look, you're making it seem like you've got no incentive for those of you, talking to the audience, who want to promote this book. And there's plenty of people who will. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can go through that. In fact, I'll make a whole show about it. I'll title the show Book Marketing, which is what I've done. So then everybody's acutely aware of what we're going to do to push the book as much as possible. And people are mercenary, I'm mercenary, and will be a lot more inclined to promote it as an affiliate if they're making 30%. So there you go. Do you like that idea? You better. Cutting out a huge amount of chunk of profits that I could take.
Sounds brilliant.
Good.
Sounds brilliant, man. That's a good marketing strategy. I like it.
I think so. I think if you've got a book that's good for the subject of flat Earth, and you can say, look, this you can feel like it's partly yours when you're flogging it because you directly make money from it. So that's like any affiliate program, obviously. But by the same token, if it's a flat Earth book that you're promoting, and it's not just, well, I mean, I could pick one of them endless streams of people who contact me and say, do you want to partner with me? This morning it was AliExpress. Do you want to partner with this? And I'm like, no, I don't. Not that I'm going to tell them that, but, you know, their request for affiliate marketing from me is no different to my request to others, with the exception of if I was to talk about AliExpress, right, aside from a few little Chinese bits of pole that have extended my boom arm recently with, I haven't got any passion or enthusiasm to do so, even if I'm taking a percentage from the sales that I'd get with affiliate links to AliExpress. That's just one of many examples. Whereas if it's a book and you're a flat earther and the book's about flat earth and it's exceptional and you make a decent wedge out of its sale, you're going to want to promote it. That's the idea. So there you go. There's more to that affiliate program as well, which is to say that this is an aside that is of interest to those who do eventually become an affiliate. If somebody wants to click on that link, so you become an affiliate of mine, you've got my affiliate link to my book, and someone goes to the bookstore and they don't buy the book, they buy a different book, you still make your affiliate commission. So again, just nice little touches. So it's been set up such that whoever gets the link to the person who goes to the bookstore, it doesn't necessarily matter which book they buy. If they bought an alternative flat earth book, that person would still make their affiliate link commission, in spite of the fact that the person that had clicked on their link didn't necessarily buy my book. So again, that was all broken down for me yesterday. But that's something I'll explain to somebody in more detail when they actually join as an affiliate to flog the book on my behalf or promote me while I'm flogging it on their show. Because that's the other thing. If you're like, well, I'd like to make the 30%, but I wouldn't really want to be promoting your book. It's like, well, that's why we're offering the 30%, so that you can get me on your show to promote the book on your behalf. You still make the same money, and I'll do the work promoting it on your channel for you. That's how it works. Anyway. Any questions? I'm so excited to be talking about stuff like this. This is harkening back to when I was in charge of things like sales and marketing. And when you've actually got something to sell, so back in manufacturing terms, after you've been through the prototyping stage and you're at the stage where you've tooled up and you've got all the bits and they're starting to be produced by the people with their physical hands in the physical factory, and then there's something at the end of it, that's the point you get excited, because it's a real thing and you can put it in someone else's hands and go, la.
Yeah, but you're excited too because you know what's in this book.
Yeah, no, it's ace.
This is the book.
Yeah, it's ace. Absolutely ace. Yes, absolutely. And 10th's alluding to the idea that he knew that would always be the case when we were writing the book originally, and then we put it in front of people and they weren't satisfied that it was up to the standards of flat earth debate. You know, a good storybook about flat earth debate isn't what flat earth debate is about. So the book needs to be more than that, and it's turned into a reference book. And 10th was saying, I kind of envisaged that would be the case as soon as it went in front of people like Quantum Eraser, Adam, Brian, whoever. You know, he was already anticipating that we'd end up spending a lot longer on it and making it a lot better, which is good. But for the fact that I'd quite like the extra revenue stream as soon as possible. But I said this to 10th last night and my wife when we were talking about doing the voiceover for it. So who's going to do the voiceover for it? I started looking for voice artists. And my wife's like, what are you doing? You need to do this. People are going to be expecting your voice on your audiobook. I'm like, but I'm not a very good narrator. I'm not very good at reading into a mic. She's like, well, you better get good at it because that's what people are going to be expecting. So you're going to be doing that. I'm like, it's probably the first time my wife's actually put a proactive opinion about what I do to me, ever. In fact, I'm pretty certain that is the literally first of times she's offered an opinion.
I agree. I agree with her. It should be you, not some random person or some AI program.
And not Huey with his American ass voice.
As long as it's not Flatzy, I'm happy.
Sorry, why not Flatsy?
She's trying to undercut me when I was trying to undercut Quantum Eraser. To become the narrator.
This is an in-joke that I'm unaware of, but I can just picture what's going on. Fine. Very funny. Yeah, so I contacted a voice actor, so you can tell where we're at now if you can imagine that I'm contacting a voice actor saying, how much would you charge for a full book? That's where we're at in terms of the book and its production. Gives you a good idea of where we're at.
Well, can't we all get submit our voices to an AI program and then people can have it read in whichever FED panel member's voice they want?
I mean, we could do that. We could get everybody to submit their voice to an AI algorithm, and then I'll pick mine at the end. That's a really good idea. Of course. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Yeah, it does seem like it's going to be me that does it. So yeah, I mean that's good in a way.
It's got to be your voice because your voice is the one that's the most irritating to the Globers. So it's got to be that one.
Not because
why would you ever consider getting a voice actor? Your voice has been the weapon that you've been using for all these years. Why would you ever consider getting somebody else to read what you would say?
Because I'm not a voice actor. That's why. That's the only reason. My skill, as much as people say, is on a script, right? Which amuses me greatly every time people say it. Because it's like, script? I haven't even got a desk. Yeah, there's nothing in front of me ever. Let's just go on camera just to prove it, just in case people are like, I don't believe him. It's like, there's nothing on me. There's no desk. You can see my knees in today's shot, not because I intended to tell people that I don't have a script in front of me. But I'm not a voice actor, right? It's not even like it's ad lib. It's not in addition to a script, what we're doing here. It's completely on the fly, moment to moment, based on what we get in that moment. So when you put a script in front of me, even while we're writing the book, right, there's certain times where we've written a section and somebody's got to read back through it. And when it falls on my door to read my own book, you get people like QE and Adam going, bloody hell, this is painful. Because it is. You know, I'm not that great at reading off a book or reading off a script. Yeah, that's just not my forte. Now, don't get me wrong, when I was training to be an actor, that's a different story because you're reading text that's going to be speech that you're going to memorize that's part of a conversation, and you're memorizing it, right? You're reading it 20, 30, 40, 50 times. So that's what I said to my wife, that's what I'll have to do. That's how I've trained to learn material. The only way it'll sound good is if I memorize the whole book. So I'll just have to learn it like it's a script and then do a read of it. So that's what I intend to do, because if it's going to be my voice on the book, or on the audio book, I should say, then it needs to be polished. Now, I can acoustically do that. I've got a good room. I'll be buying an even better mic shortly when I flog one of the old ones. And therefore, there's no reason why I can't do voiceover. I'm in the perfect setting to do that. It's just me and my abilities as a voice actor aren't that great. And I know that. But I can try. I can do my best. So I'll do exactly that. I'll do my damnedest to make it a good voice recording when it comes to the time.
But you're not doing voice acting. You're right? You're not playing a character. You're not like going to do a voiceover for a cartoon version of Batman or something. You're being you.
There's no difference.
Really...
There's no difference other than it being a specific character. Doing a voiceover for a book read and doing a character is slightly different, but you're still reading text to a mic. So there's not that much difference between the two. Anyway, it'll get done. It'll be good. It'll be beautiful. It'll sound like me. It'll be ace. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah, very exciting times. I can't wait for it to happen. I hope it happens by Easter. It may not. I'm not going to force it to happen quicker than it needs to. But yeah, it's going to be coming out shortly. And it's going to be good news for somebody who wants to make a profit from promoting it rather than just going, oh, right, so I get to promote you in your book and you get to rake in the money. Well, yes, but so do you. I hope that entices people. I really do. I hope that's music to somebody's ears and they go, oh, brilliant. That makes me want to promote your book. But the same applies for the bigger YouTubers. So I'm going to be getting in touch with the people that I got in touch with 6 months ago and said, hey, I've got a book that's about to come out that's about to be redrafted twice more. I didn't tell them that, but those people I'll get in touch with too. And I'll do the same with them. I'll be like, get this affiliate link below your video when you interview me about the book. And then you can at least make some money from the book sales.
You know who would be interested in that kind of a deal, Nathan?
I don't. Lots of people, I'd
The
hope.
ballers. The ballers. They love making money off of us.
Maybe there'll be ballers out there that want an affiliate link. And if that's the case, then more power to them.
Can I piss you guys off?
No, definitely don't. I'm in a really good mood.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about the video that QE reviewed.
Oh, with the doctor guy that we did about a week ago.
We did?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Oh, wow. No. Yeah, okay. Yes. So did you guys happen to get to the end of that video?
We got a bit further than QE did, I believe. We got a little bit further along the road than he did, but we didn't get all the way to the end.
I did personally.
I thought...
It pissed you off.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Can you not tell Eli's got a point to make? Bloody hellfire. Go ahead, Eli.
Yeah, I was just answering his question.
No, I was talking to everyone else, actually, that started opening their mics. Go ahead, Eli.
But it pissed you right off, Brian, right? Because at the last literally the last 5 minutes, the guy just says, what do you think the Earth looks like? Like, what do you think Columbus, like, what flat Earth map do you use? Do you know this friggin' guy? Thank you. He's still promoting the UAE as a flat Earth map.
Because he's a piece of crap that just wants to make money.
You're talking about Dave promoting the AU map at the end? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, the last 5 minutes, the guy asks him, what flat Earth map do you use? And he showed him the UAE map.
There's another point. Sorry, Nick.
Well, I was going to actually introduce you because you had the most pertinent point. I watched most of, well, say most, maybe a couple of hours of the 4-hour show yesterday. But there was one point that you made, Brian, specifically, which I thought was really pertinent, right? And it was about the perceived win. So it's always about how the audience takes it in. And there was a point where you got to, and I was thinking the exact same thing when you got there, which is at this point, they're both numpties, but the Doctor's being more of a dick and more of a numpty than Dave is. Therefore, by perception of the audience, Dave's actually doing slightly better. And as you said it, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Dave looks better in that exchange. At least for most of it anyway. He looks better in that exchange to the audience.
Do you remember Red Dwarf with the Inquisitor? So they get, it's like being at St. Peter or the gates of heaven or whatever, and the Inquisitor's looking over their own lives because he becomes them. This character in Red Dwarf that assesses the person in front of him and their lives, but he assesses their lives as themselves. So he lifts up their mask, and it's like you looking at yourself, asking yourself to justify your own existence. Now, when it comes to the cat character, right, he says, well, justify your existence. And he says, I've brought joy to the world because I've got such a beautiful ass. And he's like, is that it? He's like, you need more? And he's like, well, that's pretty shallow. He's like, I'm a pretty shallow guy. And he's like, fair enough. And when all four of the characters have been assessed by the Inquisitor, the cat lives, and one of the other characters, Dave Lister, doesn't live. And the reason is because the cat's standards are so low. He says, by your own low standards, you've managed to justify your own existence. In other words, for the cat, just having a nice bum was good enough to be in existence, right? Because his standards are so low. Well, when Brian said that about Dave, I'm like, this is the same scenario. By their own low standards, Dave gets the win.
Yeah, his standards are just slightly higher than the other.
Exactly, his standards are just tiny bit higher than this numpty doctor. Therefore, he pips the win. Very amusing.
Yeah, I'm excited because they with him. He did whip him, which is surprising. I felt like Dave was slightly better. He just could be even better. Like if he taken your advice on the scientific method, he would have whipped him so much worse.
Yeah, you said that about the same sort of time, didn't you, Eli? You're like, yes, he's winning, but ultimately speaking, he should be absolutely destroying this guy.
What Dave...
Yeah.
Sorry, Eli, go ahead.
No, I was just in agreement, yeah.
What Dave needs to realise is that he's been put into that position where people like Dr. Shiva may end up on his show or him on theirs. And if you want to get this across to Dave in a way that he'll accept, right, I'm going to have to use the stereotype without saying it. Dave likes to make money. So you've got to point out to Dave that by being able to understand natural science and use it against someone like Dr. Shiva and show that that person doesn't understand it and do it with confidence, then Dave's popularity will go up, which means more people coming to his channel, more people buying his app, etc., etc., etc. If he sees it from that point of view, he might have some interest. Now, I don't know how it's going to work with his dielectric plane in the toroidal field.
It won't.
That he's claiming we live on. You know what I mean? That's the problem. But what does he want more? A dielectric plane or money?
That's one way to convince him. It's too late, though, isn't it? The book's imminent. It's about to come out, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry that buys that book will be able to delineate science and the scientific method in an argument about flat Earth in a way that Dave's never been able. So if he suddenly gets hold of the book, starts reading it, understands it, or more likely doesn't, and listens to people around him suddenly picking up on that where he hasn't, he'll pick it up by osmosis, but it'll be too late, won't it? He needed to be leading the pack in this regard, not leading us all off a cliff for his app sales.
You're saying it's too late for him to learn it now?
Not too late to learn it. He can learn it all he likes and probably will.
Yeah, but to use it to his advantage in that way. He's definitely messed up with this Dr. Shiva guy.
Yeah, he missed a trick, but that's already been and gone now, isn't it? Like, everyone around him will learn those tricks that I tried to pass on to him in private, personally. That's to say, I sat down with Dave and went through the scientific method to the point where he stopped me. Yeah? Well, that time has now passed. It's too late now. It's like, you could have sat down at that time when I was doing it, literally, and just said, oh, right, okay. And how does this work? Asked a few questions. Instead, based on the fact that his chums were all using the science scam to promote Ether, he didn't want to hear it, shut me down and moved on with his day, only to look terribly stupid in front of Shiva. What does QE call him? Dr. what?
Dr. Shivago.
Caesar, he calls him.
Caesar, that was it. Something like that.
No,
Anyway.
no, that wasn't it. Not
Dr.
Caesar.
Shivago, I thought.
Shivago. Chavez.
Chavez. That's it. Chavez.
Young gun.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
but what happens with Dave is because when it's time for the scientific method, Dave says, well, you tell me what the first step is. I mean, what's with that?
It's because he doesn't know.
Did he say that to Shiva?
Yeah, after he told him his version of science, which was wrong. Chavez says no. Dave says, well, you tell me what it is then. It's like, so you've just bullshitted him because you've just told him what you think the scientific method is incorrectly. He's called you on it, and now you're asking him to tell you. So there's only two possible explanations for that. Number one, he doesn't know, or he wouldn't be asking. Number two, he bullshitted prior to asking because he tried to give his explanation and version of the scientific method. But what's new? Dave's a bullshitter. Shocking.
So basically, go on, sorry, chocolate.
The third option is he does know, and he's trying to gather what his knowledge is on it, right?
No, that's not an option.
If we were to ask him, I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying, like, if we were to ask somebody, what's your version of the scientific method? Obviously, we know the scientific method, right? So we're waiting for their response because we know what we know what it is. You understand?
Sure.
So I'm not saying that that's what he's doing, because I didn't see this interview, so I don't know. I'm missing out, but I'm just trying to catch up on it.
Well, what he did when because his opponent's suggesting that TFE is an experiment incorrectly, because his opponent doesn't know what science is either. Dave's trying to format his arguments into something that he can suggest is science. Well, I'll give you an experiment, and then gives him a failed logical consistency. Like, all right, so you want to give people who are lying with science some science to keep in the conversation, but you're doing it in such a smarmy, bullshitty way that makes us cringe because you don't know what you're talking about. Dave Weiss doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to science. Now, why doesn't he? Because he didn't want to take the lessons. That's why. Who was giving the lessons? I was. Well, did you get him to sit in the lesson? Yeah, I did. He just walked out in the middle of the lesson.
Not only that, what people like, why that video may not age well if people are paying attention, is he agreed with Dr. Shiva on what science is.
Yep.
He kind of made a few yes conciliatory statements throughout the interview. And we all knew, oh, no, that's wrong. Why are you saying yes to that? That's going to be bad for him in the long run.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon at the time. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Brian. Go ahead, man. Go for it.
No, I'll go after you, Chocolate. Go ahead.
No, just another question. I mean, I know this Dr. Shiva is like a pretty famous doctor, whatever. But did he have like a good understanding of the scientific method?
No.
Yeah, 2. You got to get 2 and then 20.
No, he did not.
No. Okay.
2 and 20, Neil.
No,
he said there's like the 4 M's or something. That's crazy.
No, he didn't even know what the first step was. He at no point elucidated the first step of the method. He was just segueing the whole time to shoehorn in TFE into being an experiment when it isn't. So in that context, he's talking about science in a context that isn't correct. So you can only assess that and say, no, he doesn't know what science is, or he accurately described it and he didn't.
What do you mean? You got to get the data together.
Where they go wrong is they're presented with a scientific method. Let's just say kids in today's world or whatever are presented with this step 1, ask a question. No, you will asking the question is step 2, and it's a predetermined question based off of you observing your natural phenomenon. So when you observe the natural phenomenon, then you'll ask the question, what is the cause of that?
Yeah, why did that happen?
In nature. Yeah. That's when the question comes in. So what they've actually done is just removed the very first step and called step 2, step 1. It's a bit like you're experiencing 1G kind of rubbish when you're doing nothing. They're this kind of thing.
Well, I tried to explain the almost the contrapositive of this effect, right? Which is where people are under the misapprehension that science is accuracy. So I was saying that during audio equipment reviews, people who are measuring microphones would say, well, this isn't science. Well, I found an example of that, so I'm going to actually play that just because I want to do what I didn't have prepped yesterday, if that makes sense. So just have a listen to this, right?
So what are we going to do? We are going to do microphones. Now, it's not a science. This is not going to be a science. I think even if we had a singer on every single one emulating it, still not a science. I was just thinking about this earlier when we were talking about the best way to present.
Okay, so what he's saying is, in a negative way, when we do this assessment, even if we had singers on every single mic, it still wouldn't be science. It's like you're alluding to the idea that at some point, if you get the accuracy spot on and you reproduce some singer through a speaker setup off a tape recording that's the same every single time, then it would become science. No. So your apologetics to say, oh, well, we're not going to do this in a really controlled way is rephrased as, well, this isn't science. So at no point will it ever be science. It won't be science if you have a control. It won't be science if you use some of the aspects of the method that offers empiricism that is science. We're talking about measurements. We're talking about subjective opinions half the time when it comes to music reproduction, but that's something else altogether. But when it steps away from subjective opinion and into measurement, it's like, well, now we're into the science of it. No, you're not. No, you're just into the measurement of it. That's all you're into. Glad I dug that out.
I was just, Brian, yeah, I was going to pick up on that yesterday. Because when you do, for the Joe Public, when you do some searches, that's what you're faced with. You don't get the real scientific method as we talk about it and as what it is. You get like, ask a question. And that's great for the heliocentric model because you can just ask a stupid question like, why does the Earth revolve around the sun? You've not observed it. You're just asking a question and then thinking, well, why would that happen? You're straight away into a presupposition.
Yeah, and your answer is going to be gravity of some kind. You know what I mean? The effect is me going around the sun, and the cause is the bending of space-time. You know what I mean? Job's a good one.
Yeah. It's a greasing of the skids when they hijack these terms because you've been taught as a child that this is an empirical method of proving things. So therefore, you've only got to pepper a little bit of bullshit with the words of science and people will gobble it up as proof.
Standing on the shoulders of giants kind of rubbish.
Well, standing on the shoulders of empirical phraseology like experiment, hypothesis, theory, and science. Those words are magical when it comes to bullshitters. You can say that word after making something up. If I measure a load of microphones and I do it in an anechoic chamber that's flat to 3 hertz, do I then suggest to the person that's reading those measurements that the microphone has been tested scientifically? Because if I do, I detach my methodology of measurement, which is better, from all the numpties who just stick it in front of an iPad. Well, they're not measuring it scientifically, but I am, and I need more credence. My testing facility costs a lot of money. So my measurements are science. Yeah? And anything I do before I perform those measurements is going to be described as a hypothesis. Yeah? Why? Because when people hear those words, they know damn well that this is the bee's knees. These are the proper measurements, the scientific ones.
A great example of the use of science, the hijacking of science as pseudoscience is if you listen to Flatside's debate against your man Critical Think and his weighing scales in Antarctica. You remember something that, because I wasn't focused on him and that thing. Right?
Is Critical Think Seth Brundle from Antarctica?
Yeah, the fly, right? The guy with the glasses, the small guy with the Australian guy with the hat and the big goggles. I wasn't focused on that, right? Because I was focused on other things to do with the mounts and the shadow and all the rest of it, right? I wasn't focused on what he was after doing. But something was pointed out. I was listening to Flatsides the other night, and Flatside said it first. Now, I don't know if they brought up in conversations amongst them. But do you remember the very first video came out when they got there from Will Duffy, and it showed the green screen effect on the guy's jacket, right? Remember that TFE effect on his pocket, right? But it also showed it on the screen of your man Critical Thinks weighing scales.
Where's this going? Because this annoyed me greatly at the time. Go ahead.
Where's it going? I'm about to go there. Is that it was funny that he came out afterwards with all these claims of I measured this and I measured that. And he never did that. He didn't even calibrate his scales. He did nothing, right? It was all done completely incorrect. He was claiming science, and he tries to claim like a hypothesis, right? I think he even tries to claim an independent, dependent variable and whatever else, actually. It's really, really bad what he does. But what's funny is that he has all these claims, he has the claim measurement and whatever else. But when it was time for the public to see the measurement, not that it matters, but the point is, when it was time for the public to see the measurement, the screen of the thing was covered up by this TFE thing. It was like, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
So the measurement that he's claiming, the pseudoscience thing that he's claiming as science, no one even got to see because it was covered up by green screen of some kind or whatever it is.
Yeah, but I didn't need to, because I heard what he described and pointed it out immediately as a flat earth proof, because he's levelling the tool with respect to a plane, isn't he? He's calling it science, but he needs a flat earth for it. So within an hour of them going live with that, I'd captured it and edited it into a video describing them requiring a horizontal plane of reference. Let's just dig that out. So
we gave him CPR there on the road.
Let's just skip past my own ads. Got to pay the bills. But this video was what I produced immediately. As soon as it came out, I was just sat in front of it waiting for them to give me something juicy that I could use. And this was the first thing that they did, right?
Come in here and partake in this experiment.
So what I have here is, this is my primary scale, which is the one that is most accurate. So, I've leveled the scale here already, and it's pretty hard to find something very level here, but there we go. It's level, and we weigh our 1 kilogram mass.
Experiment.
And we weigh our 1 kilogram mass. I've leveled the scale here already.
Glurf frauds, assuming. I won't give my narration again. Right, but that was done within minutes of them being there. Right, as soon as I saw that, I was like, right, I'm having that. Right, because I was just taking the piss at the time. I was having fun. Prior to that, I'd put out a video saying the sun wasn't real. Right, it was a CGI sun or something like that. I was taking the mickey out of them because of the CGI that was over the top. So I just thought, idiots, I'll just take the piss as I'm going along. But I'm going to wait for them to actually measure Earth flat. As soon as they did, this is what I put out. Now, you didn't go where I thought you were going to go, because you're moaning about their claim to be experiment that required a level plane of reference for the tool. Earth was measured flat for their utilisation. There are no flat surfaces on a ball. Meanwhile, everyone points out the green screen. You're like, number one, it's not science. Number two, they're measuring Earth flat. Who cares about the flipping green screen? He's told us his method. He's levelled the tool. Okay, we win.
No, you missed my point.
No, I didn't miss your point. I said it was different to my point. Don't pretend I haven't got your point. Your point is that what they offered on the screen wasn't actually showing information. It had a green screen over the top of it. I understood your point.
Yeah, but not only were they trying to hijack actual science and use pseudoscience in its place and claim validity, right? And doing it all incorrectly, but when it came to the time of the public actually seeing the reading, there was this TFE thing over. And I'm wondering, why over that? Like, why was it over that? Is it that the reading you got did not match what you needed it to match? Do you know what I mean? Look, the thing about it is with the ballers, they'll do something 20 times or 30 times or 50 times until they get the thing they need to get. And they'll change things around and go different places and go in here and change temperatures. They'll do whatever they have to do.
I'll just give you an example of that.
Yeah.
Right, so this is 7. I keep referencing 7 or 8 years ago at the moment. I don't know why that time period's getting referenced constantly. But Isle of Man debate. Do you remember Miles Davis?
Oh, how could I forget him?
Right, he went out to the same spot that Anthony was taking the observations, right? And he shows us his picture of his setup. And he's got several cameras all on tripods, right? Decent cameras, like a proper SLR. He's got a P900. He's got something else on a tripod. And he's got his phone, right? And he's showing us with his phone camera what his setup is. It's amazing. He's got all this really great equipment. What did we get? We got a picture from the phone to assess. Why? I don't know. Where's the images from the SLR? Where's the images from the P900? Where are they? Well, they don't exist. We've got one image from a Handycam, right, in crap quality. What? Well, because he's cherry-picked it, hasn't he? Every other image didn't give him what he needed for his argument, so he's cherry-picked the one circumstance where everything lines up perfectly for him to claim it matches the Earth curve maths. So that's the picture that matched it with the focal length that worked for that claim. So that's what we got. The zooms didn't work that day.
Exactly. And that's what that's him specifically. That's what he was always doing, cherry-picking things left, right and centre and not doing things, but he's not the only one, but they all do it, where they have to cherry-pick the hell out of something.
Miles the Liar Davis.
Miles the Liar Davis, yeah. But they do, they just lie. You've got to lie to Glurf. They project that onto us and all the time. It's like, no, guys, you will go out there and cherry-pick your evidence to get it to match a ball. In terms of the orthographic, non-perspective view that you're taking a picture of. Not. But they'll do it all day long. If they can get it to match an orthographic mathematics of a representation that they cannot have through the viewfinder of a camera, that's a perspective view. I mean, guys, fun to go over old arguments, but nevertheless, this is all usurped, by the way. It's all superseded, rather, by Black Swan. None of this is relevant. Right, Black Swan, that's it, all of that. That whole debate was rendered null and void. Not for our detriment, it didn't make any difference to us, positively or negatively. We were arguing within the confines of an assumption that Earth's a sphere with a radius of 3959, and the distance to the horizon's 1.2 times the square root of the observer sight feet. Now let's see if the viewfinder view that we get through a camera matches this orthographic view. That's what we worked under the assumption. But as soon as Black Swan came, 1st of Jan 2020, all arguments about Earth curve ended. That was it.
But what's funny is supposedly this guy Critical Think done several measurements while he was in Antarctica, and no one got to see those other ones. So this kind of thing, and everything he did was he didn't take. He had no controls within his demonstration. Right? It wasn't an experiment, but he could have used controls. So he didn't control for temperature, elevation, air pressure, humidity. He controlled for nothing.
No, he did. He controlled for flatness. Sorry? He controlled for flatness.
Level.
Telling you.
Okay, level.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty important.
Already.
Okay, but
and it's pretty hard to find something very level here, but there we go.
Anyway.
Yeah,
right.
but
nobody cares.
The point I'm trying to make is what he came back after claiming to do several measurements where he never zeroed his scale at any point. He left this, even after being on an airplane, he just left it exactly the same as it was when he left Australia. Do you know what I mean? It's like he all these things he didn't do, right? And there was a load of stuff he didn't do. And what he did do was fraudulent. And he claims science when it's not science. But he supposedly did admitted to trying to doing several different measurements while he was there, or trying to do the same thing several different times. But no one got to see those other things. So they're still doing the same thing. And what they're willing to do is when push comes to shove, and they can't cherry pick their way to the win, they are willing to lie, like Miles the Liar Davis. Remember, Miles Delore Davis was claiming, this is why he's called Miles Delore Davis, he was claiming that a cliff, or let's say a piece of land, was 41 feet above the beach, right? And when Anthony went out with Ranty, I think it was, and they measured it, it was 21 feet. And he was telling everyone it was 41 feet, and he was giving everyone a hassle at the time that you got to be precise, you got to do this, you got to do that. I mean, if there was a blade of grass out of the way in any of your observations or any of your measurements, that was that. You know what I mean? The ballers were throwing him out. But it was okay for him to give an estimate of 41 feet. He didn't. He just lied. Just a liar.
Yeah, we didn't get to do any of that, did we?
As an is a liar.
Because our fortified defences were so strong before or after, during the whole shebang with TFE. Nobody really came in to try and shove it in our face, and if they did, they did it in a very weak way. So we never got to start charging the participants with their suggested evidence standards. Yeah? It's like, where's Critical Think? Is he coming into Flat Earth Debate to tell us Earth's a ball because he's been to Antarctica? Hell no. Where's Duffy? Is he in Flat Earth Debate shutting your channel No. Where's Toon? Is he coming to shut us down? No. Why? Because they know exactly what would happen. But if they did, I'm all lined up for all of the garbage we had thrown at us when we were down at the Isle of Man. Right? Have you measured how high this ice wall you were stood on is from surface level? I mean, once you've established surface level and your height, that we had to do, like we had to do with the hill, right? At St. Bees, we had to physically measure it. You telling me you just go in by Google? Are you serious? Oh my God, the standards! You think this is so... I had it all lined up. Haven't got to do any of it, have we? Because they haven't come a mile from us, have they? They won't get anywhere near us. Shut your channel shut. Wishful thinking much. Come in and tell me how I need to shut my channel down. Yeah? Glurfs. You know what you'll get.
Nah, the phone call from Antarctica asking you about guns, that was supposed to do it. Shut your channel, shut your... Yeah, that came from, where's the guns? Oh, no guns? All right, shut your channel, shut your...
I think it was shut your channel, you're shut. Was the end. If you listen, it was shut your channel in these big kind of impacting words on screen. You're shut.
No, because that would need... No, because that would be apostrophe RE, wouldn't it? You are shut. Would be how it... Yeah. But he didn't write that.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah, but how it went is, if I remember correctly, at the very end, is that shut your channel. Shut. You were shut. But he didn't use apostrophe RE, you know. He used you.
After all that, you couldn't even get that right. Like, what?
Yeah, how can you actually go through the process of getting that together via a computer or a phone, and you can't even word it correctly? I mean, it's like what, 7 words?
It's like teenagers. Yeah, you're going to have to shut your channel down now, aren't you? No. Why? You want to come and tell me why?
He said, shut your channel, you're shut. That's what he meant to say.
Meant to say, you're going to cut it, Neil.
There wasn't even like a down. I don't remember the exact. So there wasn't like a shut your channel down. It was shut your channel, shut your.
No, I'm telling you how it went. It went, shut your channel, you're shut.
Look, it was obviously very catchy.
I think it was shut your channel, shut, and then a brief pause, and you're shut.
No, it's
correct, Brian. Correct.
I can't believe we can't all remember it. Don't you remember the picket lines of people outside my building telling me to shut myself down with it written on their placards?
Maybe you're supposed to read it backwards.
Say again, Neil.
Maybe you're supposed to read it backwards.
I don't know what
I never thought of that.
Mr. I'll read those things backwards. We're not in the 60s. We're not playing Led Zeppelin records backwards, mate.
Oh, my bad.
All I know is you're lucky you went live that Sunday. Boy, did we get some gems.
Speaking of playing backwards records, I've used this on a couple of shows, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I used it, right, where people do, I think they call it backmasking, where there's a claim of intent to put things that sound a certain way when you play a record backwards. And one of the people that I like, Ethan Weiner, was on stage with another girl called Poppy. I can't remember her surname. I should remember. Anyway, she goes to the audience and says, "Have a listen to this." And she plays a backwards record, and she says, "Can anybody hear anything in it?" And they're all like, "No, no, no, no. You hear anything? No, no, no." She says, "Now listen again." And she plays it backwards and puts subtitles on it that say things like, "Hail Satan, I worship Satan." She's like, "Can you hear him saying it now?" And they're all like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." She's like, "Yeah, it's amazing how just putting subtitles underneath any old garbage can make you think you're hearing that." It's like, I just made that up and put it up on subtitles after you all said you couldn't hear anything. But now you all can hear it. It's like, no, it's just messing with your mind, pretending that you can hear nonsense garble when you play something backwards. Anyway, complete segue to nowhere. My bad. We got a video to cover right at the end of the live show, 3 minutes to the hour, right? So
put it on then. Let me see what it is.
Well, we got it's Witsit, and the title made me laugh. So the Earth is not flat after all. In the thumbnail says Witsit.
Oh, I listened to some of this last night. Actually, it's kind of funny. It's kind of a clickbait title, but he's going. I won't spoil it. So, like, a lot of what he says is just okay, right? A lot of what he says is okay, but there's certain little egotistical elements in him that come out. And one or two things, one particular thing he said is completely incorrect. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, throw it on.
Well, Mush is suggesting we cover it. Was there a particular part you wanted to cover? It's a pretty long video, Mush.
Sorry.
It was actually Matthias who posted it, so I didn't watch 1 second of it.
Really?
Sorry, man.
Was it Matthias? He's not even here to ask me where I should jump in. Shall I,
just
Brian,
put it on from the start. Just throw it on, basically, from the start.
Instrumentals, and I would freestyle at the beginning of the stream. I think I might start doing that again. And then reading the chat and letting you guys throw words in there.
He's high. He's stoned. Why is he on stream stoned out of his brain? What's he doing?
He's claiming that he's just not been working out.
But you just got to look at him. He's stoned. Anyone else not think he looks completely stoned and sound completely stoned? He's stoned.
Yeah.
Freestyle.
He claims he was just working out.
Okay.
It's on the table. It's on the table. So how's it going?
Going high, I guess.
Everyone kind of pile up in here. You know. See some very friendly people in the chat. Shout out to you guys for totally not spiraling at all. I might do this new thing.
Wow.
Also, however many minutes I am late, I have to do
several bong hits.
Twice that amount of push-ups.
Push-ups?
Right now.
Push-ups don't tend to make me need to clear my throat in that way. But there we go. Go ahead, whoever that was. I was rumpusing you, sorry.
I said, who is this? What's it?
Bro is looking high as a kite right now.
Yeah.
Before I start the stream. As soon as the intro's over, I gotta go over there and on camera do those push-ups with the perfect push-ups. Yeah. Everything was ready. I was ready to go.
I'm already 100% more irritated than I need to be. I've got to be honest. He's not even said anything yet, but he's already irritating me. Do we have to do this? This is just irritating.
Oh, you're reviewing a video. Okay.
It's without timestamps, right? I can't do it. I can't sit through his stoned strawberry face any longer. I'm so sorry. I can't do it.
Come on, Nathan.
I can't do it. Give me a timestamp or we can't do it. Because I can't sit through him babbling on about his, yeah, man, there's people joining us. Cool. Gonna do some push-ups, man. I just can't sit through it. It's just too irritating.
Go put your open toe sandals on and just enjoy it. Kick back.
I'm not. That's my point.
And then,
because you're not wearing
I'm just waiting for 10. You know,
Yeah,
we're good.
Chill out, Nathan.
9:59. I realize haven't set up Rockfin and Rumble yet. Every time, something like that. Every time. A lot of the time, it'll be like I didn't check the mic and it just decides not to work. But anyway, a couple updates.
What the hell are we listening to? I mean, seriously, what are we listening to?
Dates we got. I'm going to New Jersey this
the
weekend.
Opening of his video
to debate
like you.
Should kids be allowed to transition against a tranny? So I was talking to the boys earlier. I don't even know.
Is this what people want? Is this really what people want?
We want more.
No. I mean, from anybody, from a videographer. Is this what people want? Hey, I've been setting up my video. Yeah. It was a real struggle to set up OBS. And I need to swing in my chair and I've been setting up my video and it's good to see you guys. And yeah, I might get my mic sorted. And it was a real struggle to set up my YouTube studio. We're 5 minutes in and I've said absolutely nothing. I need to slit up my eyes too, don't I? Like I've just got out of bed. Yeah, I've just been setting up Rockfin. Is that what people want? Is that what you want, audience? Tell me in the comments. Is this what you want from me? Will that get me more subscribers? Because Witz's got more subscribers than me, so I need to know, is that what I need to do? Like, be a complete wanker?
There's like a conceivable scenario that isn't just hilarious. So that's pretty interesting. That happens this weekend. So you got the religion versus atheism debates on.
I don't know how much longer I can do this. I can feel myself feeling icky. Right, shout out to Tuberticus. Thank you for the super chat, $100. Wow, thank you very much. It says, what's your hourly rate? Strawberries! You sent that super chat while I was swinging around mimicking Witsit in the best way I could. So maybe that $100 is telling me that I should actually be doing what Witsit's doing. Talk about nothing, swing back and forth on my chair, talk about setting up OBS. Oh my God! I'm trying too hard.
In fairness, you do a lot of that stuff, so
what?
You won't have to do much more.
You're
always talking about things that and they did this thing and that processor on my computer and blah blah blah. I mean, you always talk about stuff like that.
Are you trying to suggest that when I talk about the struggles that I go through with a microphone that I'm assessing and talk about the frequency response of it, that is the same as Witsit going, yeah, I set up my microphone and yeah, it's like 5 past the hour.
Well,
is
that
the same thing?
About your microphone struggle. Do you know what I mean? It's like nobody cares about your microphone struggle or the processor.
That's another video. I do videos about the microphone itself and label them like Audio Technica AT 2020 left channel only problem. Now that's such a hyper-specific video that someone who comes to that is going to be somebody that's producing maybe a music song or something like that that's using that equipment and goes, oh yeah, I've had the same problem. Did he solve it? That's hyper-specific. That's a million miles away from this caned idiot swinging on his chair talking about setting his mic up. You having me on?
Yeah, but you talk about that kind of stuff on the show. On the live show,
you want this parallel. You're not going to let this go, are you? You want this parallel, right, Brian?
The computer, the hard drive, the microphone. OBS is messing up again.
Oh my God.
I mean, you go into all this talk on the show, so you can't really say much to it.
Why am I having this low blow? What did I do to deserve this? I work hard.
What he's saying is while you do that, you got to have your open toe sandals on. Just smoke, rip a bong in the background. Maybe put some music on, some subtle reggae in the back,
Yeah,
and just talk about your mic.
Take a couple of loops.
Yeah.
See the morning sun
I am. I'm doing it wrong.
on the hillside.
There's no other conclusion though, is there? Right? I'm doing it wrong. Worrying about the quality of the information. That ain't where it's at, man. This is where it's at. Just what?
That's sad though, Nathan, if that's where it's at.
I can't do that. I just
Hey,
can't.
man,
I can't.
Listen, in his defense, with all this nonsense that's just happened in the past few months, I'd be high as a kite myself.
Bury yourself in your sorrows. It serves them right.
Just take a vote, man. Let's just vote. If you think the Earth's a globe, just put number 1. If you think it's flat, put number 2, and wherever it is, that's what we'll go with.
If you think it's looping, jump off a bridge.
Well, you have to listen. He starts perking up and getting into flat earth stuff, right? But then the ego comes out, right? His ego comes out a few times. And the way he speaks to the audience is like, it's like they're children or something. It's like, that's your audience, buddy. They're putting food on your table. He is claiming that he's claiming, I'm not high, I've been working out. That's what he claims. He's been working out. He's been getting high out in the sun.
Me too, man. I've been working out. I might get to moving this mic in a minute. Maybe I'll set up for the after show. But if you have been watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premier Stream, then stay tuned. Because there's going to be all sorts of fun to follow.